Hey y'all, this is To The Point Tarot again, and I'm coming with the sign of Gemini. Let me move this out the way. I was just compelled, I don't know why, to do the sign of Gemini next. They were really on my heart, and now I see why. Um, wow, so I'm just gonna get straight to it, okay? So, when I was shuffling, these cards were very, very stubborn in coming out. And I knew right then as I was shuffling that it must be a hard time for the sign of Gemini. I just picked it up in my spirit. I didn't let it come out my mouth or say nothing because I didn't want to influence the cards. But definitely, I see the struggle has been real. But I want to let y'all know that it's about to get better. Okay, so here we go. Well, we start off with the Nine of Wands here. I'll let y'all just look at that. Uh, you've been facing challenges. It looks like you've been going through here lately, and looks like you've been standing alone, or you've been feeling alone while you've been facing these challenges. I don't know where everybody went, but it don't seem like it's too much support, or you've been feeling unsupported lately. And you might have to be okay with standing alone for a little bit longer. Um, I just want to encourage you with this card that don't get overwhelmed because you can do it. You definitely have the strength. You're one of the strongest signs I know. But it's a good thing that next you get the Ace of Swords, and that big old sword is saying that you must have the power, the know-how, or the ammunition to go through successfully whatever you've been facing. Um, you got to think smart though. And I know you have the power to think smart because you're very analytical and you're a problem solver. But you're going to really have to put your mind to and sit down and really get focused about this plan or about how to get through this situation and navigate through it properly without bringing harm to yourself or harm to others. Do all you can to de-stress. But this sword is saying that you got the ammunition to make it, whether you can sense it or you can feel it right now or not. You definitely are strong enough, and you have everything you need. You got the guns, okay? So I'm very confident, that you're gonna get through this situation all right. You just gotta hang in there, stand firm. You will be victorious, but you gotta stay vigilant. Just stay vigilant right now. Stay strong, and self talks will help with that. Prayer will help with that. But uh, just know that you're gonna be okay through this situation because it's saying here that you got everything you need with this big old sword. I mean, who can stand up against that? And you see how I got the crown at the top? That's another thing that lets me know that victory is coming soon in this. You got a sword with a crown at the top. I don't think nobody really want to mess with it if they coming up against you. I remember, this reminds me of the story of Medusa. I don't know if you familiar with the Clash of the Titans, but he was a hero in this epic adventure. And one of the things that he had to do to be victorious before he got to the end was to kill this half woman, half snake. And this half woman, half snake, she was real powerful. She stayed in a cage and she had killed many people before the soldier had came up in there, the one that came up in there and killed her. But he had to outwit Medusa. You just couldn't run up on her and beat her. You couldn't just run up on her and stab her. She was smart. She had been in this cage for hundreds of years, this cave. And anybody who came in there, they would never make it out. One of her powers was to turn soldiers into stone just by looking at her. So if they made eye contact with her or if they beheld her body, they would just turn to stone just by looking at her. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, all he had was a shield and a sword when he ran up in there. And it took more than him running up on her with a knife and sticking her in the gut to subdue her. She had some kind of like wicked crossbow too, so it was poisonous or something. And when she shot it at people, it would kill them if it nicked them or touched them in any kind of way. So he had to think smart and he had to think on his feet. And that's another thing this card is saying is that you have to really think smart and think on your feet and don't just use your strength to use your guns to try to outdo people. You're gonna have to outsmart people, but I know you're more than capable of doing that. But it's a good thing that we move on to the fourth sword next, and it's taking time to heal and taking some solitude, because it's saying that whatever you was going through, if you haven't already subdued the issue, in the near future you will subdue that issue, and uh, just don't keep on running full speed ahead, because I know that you want to go and say, okay, what's next? I've accomplished it. What's next? I've accomplished it. I just got to stay on it. What's next? But after you go through a lot of hardships, you got to kind of take a rest and recuperate and recap and meditate and see where you were victorious at and formulate a plan to keep moving forward, because it's going to take just a little more strength. You know what I'm saying? Um, you on your way out of the neck of the wood. You're on your way out of the woods, but you ain't completely out of the neck of the woods. So um, you still see stuff that you have to do. You still see stuff that you need to accomplish. And I know you want to stay on it, but, you know, if you can in there somewhere, take a little break and meditate and just get your mind right and keep your mind strong on what you're going to do next, because even though you got the big swords and the big guns, your mental ability is what's going to get you through all this. And I'm going to take a look at this book real quick, because I like the book's picture a little bit better about, I think I marked it. If I did, I'm going to get on through this. Oh, here we go. Is this it? No, that ain't it. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Okay, yeah, I like this picture. I don't know if y'all can see that. We'll take the marker out. But he is laying there, and he has a sword up under him. He's taking a rest, though. He's hung the rest of his swords up. He had 4 swords, and he's just taking a rest. So it's okay to take rest when you can throughout this. And when you can have a break or whatever, just do yourself a favor and take a break and go meditate and be somewhere calm and be somewhere where you can just get some mental focus and focus on what you need to do next, and don't avoid patting yourself on the back for being so strong and being, just being strong through still by going through the hardships that you've been through lately, and you still standing firm and you still standing strong. But you're going to need your mental abilities, and you're going to need to be able to think clear and think straight. And you can't do that all tired and stressed out. So where you can, and take a little break and, recuperate, pat yourself on the back, because you have been through a lot, but at least you're still kicking. And, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that you are thinking properly or thinking straight, so you can continue to outsmart your enemies and think on your toes. Okay, so the next one is the 7 of Pentacles, and it's saying that it's just saying again that you need to make sure you're taking breaks and pauses and taking rest, because your mental abilities got to be on point right now. Plan your next move, moves effectively. Hard work eventually pays off. I know you've been working hard, trying to accomplish things, and it seems like people been trying to get in your way and obstacles been coming up, but you're making it. You're making it. So hang in there. And just be patient. When we plant seeds, or when a farmer plants seeds, he can be as impatient as he want to be, but that ain't gonna make the seeds sprout quicker or it bear fruit. So being stressed out after you've already come up with a plan about how you're gonna get through something ain't gonna make you get through it any faster or any better. So once you got a plan and you're pretty sure on it, you know what I'm saying, it makes sense. Don't stress it out. You know, if you know how to meditate, meditate if you can. If you don't, look up some videos or read some books on it, just so you can give your mind still rest. You know what I'm saying? But it looks like you've planted some good seeds. Your harvest will be good, but you just can't stress it out. The stressing will not push it to move stuff any faster. All right, so remember that. Um, let's see here. And then we got the Page of Swords next. You've learned a lot through your experiences. And it's all about to make sense. Whatever hasn't made sense to you yet is about to start making sense. And pretty soon, if you haven't been able begin to connect the dots yet, you will start to connect the dots pretty soon, and it's gonna all make sense to you. And you're gonna pat yourself on the back. You know what I'm saying, about what all you've been through and stuff like that. And so you go through life to gain experience, and those experiences make you stronger. So when you encounter hardships next, you'll be able to get through those with wisdom that you've gained through other hardships in your life. Yeah, them hardships is hard while you having them, but then you have the wisdom when you get through it. And when difficulty presents itself again in the future, you will always have something to draw on by the hard experiences that you've been through and stuff like that. And I know you've really been through it and stuff like that, and so I just didn't want to leave it there because I felt like in my spirit that things were about to get better for you, because it looks like from every stage it's just getting better and getting better, and through all of this you're getting wiser. You know what I'm saying? And it looks like you're about to be on your way out of the struggle and the hardships you've been facing. So I was led to pull a clarifier um, over that to because I just couldn't leave it there. I mean, it looks like it's getting better, but I want to know for sure. I was hoping that for sure it would get better, so I got a surprise for you. When I was shuffling and meditating and shuffling the cards and stuff, and you don't only do jumpers, so this popped out and it flipped out. That's the only cards I take. Oh, it wasn't upside down. Okay, so this is what flew out. The King of Cups. Look at it. I said I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. And I'm getting ready to just show you him in the book. I mean, he looks like the man, right? And it's basically saying that everything you went through was not for nothing. And you will come out on top. You definitely will come out on top, but you'll be a king in knowledge. You'll be king on this knowledge that you experienced while you went through this. And though it was hard, you'll have this knowledge to carry you through further situations, because you're on your way up. You're fixing to move into a time of abundance. And the things that you learn now in your hard times will definitely benefit you in your future. All right, anyway, I hope you liked it. To the point, Tarot. I'm out.